First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of John, the 15th chapter. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. And here Yahweh Shai is using the analogy of a vineyard, right? And a vine which is planted in there, which eventually bears, fruit, right? The fruit of the vine, grapes, and so on. So the husbandman is a planter, right? The one who plants the seed. He breaks up the earth, he plants the seed, he waters it, and then eventually it grows, right? So as he says here, I am the true vine, Yahweh Shai, and my Father, which is the Most High, represents the husbandman, the one that planted him. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. So when let's actually look this up here. A vine tree. Let's look at some images here. And let's do branches. Okay, so as you can see here, let's take this for example. Let's zoom in on here. So you have the tree and you have the branches on it, as you can see, and then you can see the grapes, so on. So Yahweh Shai is saying here, if you're a branch on here and you are not bearing fruit, he purgeth it. You're going to be pruned. You're going to be cut off, chopped off, that it may bring. It says he purgeth it that it may bring forth more fruit. Well, Slakia actually says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. Right, so you get chopped, you get cut off, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it that it may bring forth more fruit. So we are likened unto the branches, and the works that you do, in teaching, in edifying others, right, as the disciples did back then and as we do now, that they may hear the word and they may believe, those that are meant to, and come into this fold. Those are likened unto the fruits that you bear, right? The labor that you do, the works that you do, and the results that come out of it. So if you are not bringing forth results unto the Lord, you are not working, then you're going to be like a branch that's going to be taken away. The Lord is going to cut you from that tree, from that vine. And that is him separating you from the body of Yahweh Shai. And at that point, that's when people lose the spirit and they just stop, right? They just stop doing the work that they were doing before, right? But those that do bear fruit, he purgeth, which is like to prune. And that pruning sometimes is like, parts of you are getting cut, trimmed, but that's to, like Aharon says, addition by subtraction, right? So the Lord might cut certain things, he might discipline you, he might throw some adversity your way to make you better, right? To push you harder so you can bring forth more fruit. You can be more focused, you can be more locked in. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you, because they heard it, they received it, and they believed it. So in doing so, as he says, they're likened unto being clean, or we are likened unto being clean, as we are in that same stead. Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. So how do you abide in Yahweh Shai? Well, by believing in him, continue to believe in him, continue to do the things and keep his words, right? Obey the instructions of the Lord, the things he has commanded us to do. The more we continue to do that and live that way, we abide in Yahweh Shai, and his spirit abides in us, that allows us to continue to do so. And that's like the branch being attached or part of the vine. So as he says, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, if you were to cut a branch or break a branch off of the vine or the tree, that branch is not bearing fruit of itself. The nutrients come from the soil. It is absorbed through the roots, travels through the stem, and then goes out through the branches. So if you are broken off, you're no longer connected to the rest of the body. And if you're not connected to the rest of the body, you're not getting those nutrients that are traveling through, right, to allow you to produce forth fruit. So you need to be in the body of the Lord, right, abiding in him to bear fruit. Except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me. You can't bear fruit because in order to work those works, you need the Spirit of the Lord. And if you're not abiding in him, then you don't have his Spirit. Just like a branch cannot bear fruit if it's not connected to the source, which is the tree. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. And that's very important to understand. That's why it's crucial to abide in the Lord, because without the Lord, the knowledge that we have, the confidence, the faith, the ability to teach, the works, all these things we can't do. Before Yahushua came to the apostles, the disciples that he selected, right? It says that Peter, Andrew, James, and John, they were fishermen. And he says, I'll make you fishers of men. They weren't going around healing people. They weren't going around preaching the gospel, right? Now, they believed, but it was through the power of Yahushua. When he commissioned them, it says he gave them power, right, over unclean spirits to heal and to do all these things. So you can't do the things that you do without Yahushua. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. That's what's going to happen. That branch is going to die because it's no longer getting the life force from the source, which is the tree. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. And that's what happens. When they go to gather wood for fire, those branches and so on, those are not connected to the tree. And that's what you're going to be likened onto. You're not going to produce any work. You're going to wither, and then you're going to be destroyed like a branch that is cast into the fire. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Yeah, because then you can pray in the name of the Lord because you're connected to him, and the Lord will the Lord will recognize your spirit because it'll be the spirit of Yahushua, and it will whatever you ask, it will be done unto you, because the Lord Yahushua, remember, he is the door to the Father. So if you go through that door, then you'll get access. Then the Lord will hear you. Then he'll bless you. Then he'll grant you what it is that you desire, because the Lord is interceding on our behalf. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So in bearing much fruit, being a branch of that vine, you glorify the Father. So shall ye be my disciples, right? You are my disciples if you continue with me and you bear fruit. So go and bear fruit, all right? Labor, continue. The Lord gave us the foundation. He gave us the blueprint. He is the vine. Okay, we're connected to him. So we know what we got to do. Go out and do it. Go out and teach. Go out and be diligent. Bear that fruit, because if the Father sees you on the husbandman, sees you as a branch and you're not bearing fruit, you're going to be cut off. And as the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. So that's how you continue in the love of the Lord. Keep his commandments, what he commanded us to do. Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. See, so as long as the Yahushua did his Father's will, his Father continued to love him, right? And as long as we do his will, he'll continue to love us. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. So the Lord said, I've taught you all these things. I've opened up your eyes to all these things, that my joy would remain in you, because you're blessed. You're more blessed than even those in the past, kings, prophets, because none of them were in the position that you're in, with the capability that you're in. Not everybody's a part of is a branch on that vine, right? Not everybody has this opportunity. You are the closest. Okay, so I've spoken these things to you that you may rejoice and understand that what you are doing is a great work. Be joyful in that, and there's going to be a unfathomable reward that's going to come with it. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And Yahushua exemplified and demonstrated that by laying down his life for us, to show you there's no greater love than what he did. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. So you can't disobey the Lord, disrespect the Lord, and then turn around and think that you are his friend. Henceforth, going forward, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. Right, your servant is not privy to your private matters. They only know what you tell them to do. That's it. Like you'll see servants, like the master will tell them, go and do this. They don't ask questions. Go and do this. What do you mean? Are you planning to do this? Oh my gosh, Lord, no. But he's saying here, you're no longer, you're not servants. I don't call you servants anymore, because servants don't know what their master doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Think of the conversations that, let's say, a head of household or a rich man would have with his friends versus his servants. If the servants know anything, it's by overhearing, and more than likely they're overhearing a conversation between friends. So the friends know more, right? They know everything. The servants, that's not how it works. So he's saying here, I've made known unto you everything. I've revealed unto you everything, because you are my friends. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. When you were out there on that boat trying to catch fish, I came and called you. You didn't choose me. And then this was predestined from the foundation of the world, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit. See, so I chose you and I appointed you, I set you up to go and labor and work and bring forth fruit. And that your fruit should remain, that your work should stand, that those that you teach should hear and they should continue in this work, right? That those that you heal, that the things that you do, the labor that you do should continue, it should not be in vain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Why? Because you're bringing forth fruit, and he loves that. These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Because the world is evil, and the Lord testifies against them of their evil works, so they hate him. And men love darkness, therefore they refuse the light. If ye were of the world would love his own. See, the world today loves their own. Those that are in the world, they get right along with each other. They succeed in this world because they're of it. We don't fit in. So the world doesn't love you. You're an outcast. But to be an outcast in a wicked world is good, because it means you're not wicked, you're righteous. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So not only are you chosen out of the world, separated from the world, outcasted, but you're chosen by one who the world hates. Of course the world is going to hate you. Yahushua said it many times, right? That ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. And what the Lord is doing here is he knows that his time is about to be up. And it was going to be rough. It was going to be tough for them. But he was exhorting them, admonishing them, preparing them to say, look, you're about to have to take a super huge level up. Okay? You're about to have to go from just students and disciples to apostles, to leaders, to teachers. All right? You're going to have to hold it down. I've laid the foundation. It wasn't that long, but it did what it had to do. Now you gotta continue. Yes, they're gonna hate you, but be joyous, be glad. You know, this is the blueprint. I've given you everything you need. You're prepared. Go and do it. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So those that came against me, that persecuted me, they'll do the same to you. Guess what? Go into the book of Acts and you see exactly that. But those that heard and believe me, they'll believe you as well, because you speak my words. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Because they know not the Father, they don't believe the Son. And because they don't believe the Son, they persecute the servants or the friends of the Son. So he's saying, be ready for that. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sins. And why is that? Because the Lord testified on it. He made it aware. He brought it to light. Now they can see. If you're walking in darkness and you stumble at something, okay, that's fair. It's dark. You didn't see it. But if the light is on and you stumble at the same thing, then you're not looking. Or you're looking and you purposely went and did it. Imagine walking right up and bumping into somebody, right, while you're looking right up ahead in broad daylight. And then you say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. You think they're going to buy that? versus maybe it's dark and lights just went out, EMP or something like that hit, and then you bump into somebody. It's like, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Okay, cool. So they couldn't now have a cloak for their sins. They couldn't say it was done out of ignorance because Yahweh Shai had brought it to light and let him know. And you know what they did? They wanted to kill him for it. So it made it obvious. Remember what he told him, right? He mentioned about that the those that see might be made blind. And they themselves said, are you saying we're blind? No, we're not blind. We can see. And he said, good, you've condemned yourself. So now your sins stay, because if you can see and you're still sinning, then you're doing it willfully. Verse 23, he that hateth me hateth my Father also. If you hate the messenger, you hate the one who sent the messenger, right? If you hate Yahweh Shai, he's doing every sin. Think about it. Think about it. Why did they hate Yahweh Shai? Was it just because he was born? No. Was it just because he was breathing on the earth? No. It's because of the things he said and the things he did. Now, if the things he said are everything he heard from his Father, and the things he did are everything that was seen of his Father, and they hated him for those things, now you understand why he said they hate the Father. Because these things are literally from the Father. If you hate me because of them, then you hate the Father. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. And what he means by that is they can't say, hey, you can't blame us because we had doubt that you were the Messiah. We didn't believe your word, because anybody could have done these things. So he's saying, I did works that nobody else could do. Works that prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I indeed am sent of God, that I am the Son of God, that I am the Messiah. And you still didn't believe me. So there's your sin. You can't say, oh, it wasn't enough. Show us a sign, prove. No, I gave you everything you needed. And you still did not believe me. Right? If I hadn't done so, maybe. But now you don't have any excuse. As it says, but now they have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. They saw Yahweh Shai and they saw the Father through the works that Yahweh Shai did. You had people that testified on the believing side, saying, look, how can somebody that is not son of God do these things? By doing these things, they said, no, truly he has to be the Son of God, because nobody else can do these things. But you had those that didn't believe. They saw it. And they hated him, and they hated his works. They said he had the devil. So they hated him and his Father. But this cometh to pass, that the world might be fulfilled, or that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law, they hated me without a cause. What meaning without it's not like Yahweh Shai was wicked, right? That they hated him. So they hated him without a cause, as in like they didn't have a reasonable cause to hate him or to put him to death. They did it out of envy. Even Pilate, who was an Edomite, when you read in the Gospels, it tells you that he wanted to just let Yahweh Shai go because he knew they delivered him up for envy, not because of anything wicked that he did. Verse 26, but when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. See, and meaning through the Spirit of the Comforter, or the Spirit of truth, it would testify of Yahweh Shai through us by opening up our minds to the things like, oh, this, for example, when you have the Apostle Paul, he comes on the scene, right? And even other apostles, they're able to show you Yahweh Shai. When the scripture said this in the law and the prophets and the this, it was talking about Yahweh Shai. That's the Spirit of truth testifying, right? Almost like it's giving a testimony saying, you see that precept right there? That's talking about Yahweh Shai. This precept right here was fulfilled when he did this. This means this. This means that. This means this. And that's why he said, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. But it takes the Spirit of truth to open up your mind to receive that testimony, to understand that, to piece those together. That's why Yahweh Shai told his disciples, when I leave, when I'm glorified, and the Comforter comes down, he's going to bring all these things to your remembrance. Verse 27, and ye also shall bear witness. See, so the Spirit of truth is going to testify of me, but you're also going to bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning. Guess what? Reading the book of John, that's an example of them bearing witness. They said it, that they were eyewitnesses of these things because they were with Yahushua from the beginning of his ministry. But even on a more spiritual note, those spirits would have been part of the first fruits that were with Yahushua from the very beginning. You know, if you can receive that. But as he's saying here, you're also going to bear witness because, and they gave their testimonies. They bore witness of Yahushua as of the only begotten. And there's a scripture that says that. Matter of fact, let me find that and we can close it off with that. Let me look at it here. It says here, I witness says, or is it together? Yeah, Acts 10 and 39 is a good one. And we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. That's a good one too. Yep. I think it was in Peter that I was trying to look for. Let me try witness, and if I can't find it, then it's all right. Let's take a look here. No, we're gonna find this. Hold on. We are eye witnesses. Bible verse. Ain't gonna ruin my lesson. There we go. 2 Peter 1 and 16. I'm gonna find that thing. Second Peter. Oh shit. Was it 1 and 15? Okay. 1 and 16. Okay, all right. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 16. For we have not followed cunningly devised fables when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, but were so it is together. Okay. Eyewitnesses of his majesty. See? So they bared record, all right, and bore witness of Yahushua. And that brings us to the end of the book of John, the 15th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Brachak Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.